every day, every person in America absolutely 100% depends on NOAA does. They just don't realize it. And cutting NOAA is essentially like, trying to save money by taking the batteries out of your smoke detector, right? And it's not really saving you that much, but it's putting you and your family potentially in extreme risk. Hello, my name is Hendrick Simoes, and I was a senior communications specialist at NOAA Satellites. I did 24 years in the U.S. Navy, right? And man, that was just an incredible experience. NOAA just does so much, right? And to be a communicator in that organization and help better communicate NOAA's mission, I think, wow, I couldn't have thought of a better follow-on job. I've been in government for 24 years. I've seen, pendulums swing in government, right? So I'm very much aware that when a new administration comes in, they're going to have their different philosophies about how government should work and what to invest in and not to invest in. But usually they do so in accordance with, our processes, right, and our laws. I hope Americans understand these were reckless cuts. These were dangerous cuts. These cuts were made indiscriminately and randomly. There was no thought put into how these cuts were made. And all of this happened without the consent of Congress. All of this happened outside of the normal democratic process that you would normally have. It's in a lot of ways, I think, a betrayal of the values that I've spent 24 years of my life out there representing and protecting. You may not see immediate impacts, but over time, which I think happening, I think it's already happening because I think meteorologists are warning about this, is some weather forecasts are becoming inaccurate. People in some of these different offices that NOAA operates are really stretched thin. There's also going to be, I think, a lot of long-term impacts that are going to play out in months and years. For example, NOAA operates a lot of satellites up in space, right? Satellites don't last forever, and the teams that kind of work on developing the next generation satellites and putting those up in orbit, man, those teams are in chaos right now. They've been depleted. That means that 10 years from now, we may have a gap up there in space. And then the other aspect of it, I think, is NOAA, like NASA and so many organizations we have in the government, it's an organization that really plays a big role in advancing science and technology in our country, our understanding of the planet, our understanding of things that are important to us, like the sun, the cosmos, that kind of thing. And I think a lot of people don't realize these technologies that we use every day, they didn't just materialize out of nowhere. The root of those technologies were based off of government investments. And I think the last thing, that I really kind of want to cover with this, because it breaks my heart, is just to watch so many of these politicians and people in the administration demean civil servants and federal employees. 1/4 of your federal employees are military veterans, right? So, but whether it's service members or whether it's, people who've spent their lifetime being a federal employee and working in the civil service, these are, people that are by and large extremely dedicated to their country, extremely patriotic. They are extremely passionate about what they do, right? These are people that are really dedicated in their soul to the work that they do. So Americans always say, for me, because when they find out I'm a veteran, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. But I really think, all federal employees who work for these agencies, if they're an FAA controller or scientist at NOAA or whatever, man, they deserve a thank you as well.